I think that, people are becoming a lot more aware of how important it is to be sustainable, and there's kind of a backlash towards fast fashion, which, is good for all of us. So I think, just being in this business, I'm constantly trying to find ways to keep reusing and fixing garments. My name is Jess James, and I am the owner of Jess James & Co. Vintage, located at 511 Castle Street in downtown Wilmington. And we specialize in true vintage, mostly more feminine, all one-of-a-kind items, primarily from the late 1800s to the 1970s. I would say I became interested in vintage just really spending time at my Nana's house in her 7 closets. I just found it fascinating to go through her pieces with her and hear the stories behind all the things that she had saved. My grandfather had traveled a lot internationally, so she would say, oh, he brought this back from Belgium, or he brought, a lot of it was gifts. And just like seeing the different sizes and everything through the years and all the stories behind it was really where my interest began. A lot of times we do shopping appointments, so that kind of stemmed from my styling business. I just think that it's just more valuable to have one-on-one styling sessions with people who are really interested in vintage. A lot of times people are struggling with their sizing. I do write the measurements on the back of every tag. So I find that that's helpful not only for people shopping in the store, but from our customers that are shopping online. I can quickly give them the measurements because that's what they're going to need to purchase something. And when I come in during the week, it's usually for a shopping appointment. And I spend a lot of time in the store, tagging the items, taking measurements, steaming, and then, anything that I get in new. A lot of that is kind of behind the scenes, preparing the items at home, cleaning and, spot cleaning and soaking and all of that takes place before the item even comes in here. I think that, Wilmington is a great place for entrepreneurs because there's not really a lot of job opportunities. So I think it kind of forces people to, maybe try to figure out a niche or try to do something like follow their passions more so than if they lived in a larger city, because there's a lot more opportunity. But in the creative field, there's just really not a lot of opportunity where people are going to pay you a salary. So, I think you really have to, get creative, and if you want to run your own business, you're going to have to know that, there'll be very much like highs and lows. I think one of the hardest things that I've struggled with is just like you could come in, the shop like mine, and you can work 8 hours. And you can post all day online, you can put stuff on Etsy, you can meet with customers all day long, and you can literally make nothing and go home and be like, oh, I didn't make any money. So I think that that's really the biggest challenge that I deal with is, as compared to like having a salary position at a company. Where the magic happens is, just really meeting with customers and helping them find something that fits their body perfectly, and something that they're going to love and cherish for years. I'm just kind of taking it day by day, and as long as I still find joy in what I'm doing, it's something that, I feel grateful that I get to do what I love. But like I said, it's not always financially a great position to be in, but I'm always hopeful that it can turn around. And I've seen it turn around very quickly within a week, because sometimes it only takes, one customer to make a big difference in your day. So I just, as long as it keeps being what I love, I'm sure I'll continue to do it in some capacity.